Namaskaram, you are with the South Indian. Someone was asking me, how come you're always the first? Tell us what is really going on in the South. That's because we are bothered about you. We may be sitting far away in the capital, but we are always the first to tell you what's going on today. Is particularly a great day because the poll bugle has been sounded in Telangana. And guess what? It was on expected lines. Bharat Rashtra Samiti or BRS President Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao, popularly known as KCR, released the party's first list of contesting MLA candidates for the upcoming state assembly polls. You know why I said expected? Because much like in 2018, KCR by releasing the list has the first mover's advantage, and second, as it is well known about him, KCR chose the auspicious day of Shravana Somavara to make the announcement. A lot of us in the South know what it means. Those who believe, those who do not believe, that's also fine. In the South, we are rather eclectic, each to his own. Chief Minister KCR has finalized the list of candidates for nearly 90% of the assembly constituencies. Of the 119 seats, 115 names are now confirmed, 4 names are so far pending, and 7 changes have also been made. Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao will contest from 2 assembly constituencies, namely Gajwel and Kamareddy districts, while announcing the changes as follows. He said there are only 7 changes in the list, namely Korutla, Uppal, Vemulavada, Khanapur, Asifabad, Vaira both. In Vemulavada assembly constituency, sitting MLA Chennamaneni Ramesh will not be given a ticket. KCR said the BRS leader instead finalized Chalmeda Lakshmi Narsimha Rao's name for the constituencies. In Uppal, Bandaru Lakshmareddy will get the ticket as opposed to the sitting MLA Beti Subhash Reddy. If K. Chandrasekhar Rao or KCR makes it this time, then it shall of course be a hat-trick, and no wonder then that he has apparently taken immense measures, immense care to have an extremely comprehensive list which takes into account all the parameters of winnability. Let's debate with our experts as to how they see this as a list, although list alone, we all know, does not ensure victory in electoral politics. It's a lot of other things. It's a combination of different things. But as of now, today, the first list is out and the South Indian will discuss it with the rest of the South Indians. But before that, the South Indian of the day, K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Let's listen into what he has to say.
వాళ్ళ అభ్యర్థిస్తే మంచిది అని చెప్పి అతను కూడా అక్కడ యాక్టివ్గా డాక్టర్ సంజయ్ పనిచేస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. దాని ద్వారా వాళ్ళ ఇంటి విషయం అది ఆ ఎమ్మెల్యే గారి కోరిక మేరకే వారి తనిఖీ ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతూ ఉంది. మిగతా అన్ని కూడా పాతవి ఒక 4 చోట్ల.
A. Sai Shekhar, senior journalist and political analyst, is joining us on the broadcast. Shyam Prasad Meka, who is a political analyst, will also be joining. Bhanu Chandra Nagaranjan, political analyst, is also with us right now. Let's just go say hello to the 2. I think there are 2 who have joined. Sai Shekhar is here, of course, and also Mr. Nagaranjan. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Sai, first is, before we dwell into what happened, why it happened, I want you to tell the viewers about this list. Isn't it true that KCR has taken immense care to see that he has a solid, layered list, as it were?
As I understand, he is ready with this list long ago.
Oh.
And it's not a last minute exercise or anything like that. And he, in fact, they have not made any official announcement that they would be announcing the list of candidates today. But then there were sufficient feelers that were sent to the media that today the Chief Minister is likely to announce the list of candidates, which means he is prepared for this, and he has kept 4 seats in abeyance, the list of nominees for 4 assembly seats in abeyance, but he has all the rest of the 115 he has announced. And one not very surprising move is that he is seeking election from 2 assembly constituencies. One is his native Gajwel and another is Kamareddy. And on the expected lines, Dr. Sanjay has been nominated from Korutla. He's a very world-renowned spine surgeon. And the other candidates, also about 7 candidates he has changed. And this morning, much to his surprise or chagrin, one of his loyalist MLAs, Mainampalli Hanumantrao, from Malkajgiri constituency, he has spoken very ill of the finance minister Harish Rao.
Harish Rao, yes.
And he wanted himself to be nominated from Malkajgiri and his son to be nominated from Medak. And that was anyway not acceded to by the chief minister. And during the interaction, then people asked him whether Mainampalli would continue to be the BRS candidate. The chief minister said if it was the party's line, yes, he would be the BRS candidate. Otherwise, it is his choice, which means he kept the door ajar. And he also took care that the list is not hard and fast, in the sense that if necessary, there could be some changes. That is a warning or taunt to the roughnecks who want to, create a havoc.
Yeah, but before I go to Nagaranjan, I'm Mr. Nagaranjan, I want to ask you, Sai, that, keeping Gajwel and the other Kamareddy, is it also because you should tell us, because Revanth Reddy has been constantly challenging him and saying that, Gajwel, okay, you know this, you know it very well. See, the thing is that, what is the purpose of fighting it from both? Considering that this man, of course, there is anti-incumbency. You and I know that nothing is set in stone so far as electoral politics is concerned. We've got results wrong, many a time. But tell me, what is the reason for him to fight from 2 places, Sai Shekhar?
Kamareddy comes under Nizamabad Lok Sabha seat, which is likely to be contested by Kavita in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. And Kavita has made her intention clear already. And last time she has lost the election. And so Chief Minister's presence, perhaps if he retains that seat, he is sure to win both seats. And if he retains that seat, naturally, that will boost the morale of the candidate contesting from Nizamabad Lok Sabha seat. This could be one reason, not that intentionally he wants to do this. But then initially my information was that KCR was considering contesting from Nalgonda, Nalgonda district, leaving Gajwel, because he wanted Nalgonda district is a Congress bastion. Uttam Kumar Reddy is from there, Komat Reddy Venkat Reddy is from there. Many, the Komat Reddy, Rajgopal Reddy, everyone, many Congress strongmen are there from Nalgonda district as well, Nalgonda district. So people thought KCR would go and contest there. That is why Revanth Reddy wanted to wean away KCR from seeking an election.
Sai, what you said about him keeping the seat warm for his daughter, he's actually falling into the trap of Parivarvad, which Narendra Modi has accused him of doing. I'll come to you later.
Today, Amit Shah, once again, Sudha, today Amit Shah said on merits we would also consider people from dynasties and families, but they should have merit. So, Kavita and KTR and Harish Rao have participated in the Telangana agitation. It's not as if, they were directly airdropped from KCR.
Sure. That's what the Congress also says. Sham Prasad Meka is here. Hi, Sham. I'll come to you in a bit. They say that we have spilt our blood for this nation. Starting from Mrs. Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, they say that we have made sacrifices. So therefore, this dynastic thing does not stick, but it does for the opposition. I'm not saying for the electorate. Bhanuchandar, what do you make of the list? Do you think that this is a list which is pretty much on what was expected? Because see, there are some little bit of problems, like he spoke about Hanumantrao, very, very strong words that he has used against Harish Rao. He has said, what does he think of himself? I know where he came here with a trunk, I will expose him, while even trying to, put up a very, very brave front for Rohit Rao, his own son. I am asking you that, is this list taking into account what is most important, which KCR went to town saying, I have done a survey, I know what is the kind of wind that is blowing against apparently every candidate. People who have sexual harassment cases against them, people who have even a citizenship kind of a problem against them. They've all been asked to sit down. So according to you, is this list fulfilling what KCR was wanting to do, Bhanuchandar Nagaranjan?
So this week seems to be that time when political parties are starting to play on the front foot. You could see that the BJP released its list in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh even before elections were announced. So I think BRS is also following the same route. But I think BRS has sort of taken a gamble, I would say, in announcing 115 candidates and with only 7 changes. So because like you mentioned in your initial bit, there is massive anti-incumbency against the BRS.
Yes.
They've been there for two terms. So he's basically gambling and saying that I'm going to go with the same members. Let's see what happens. So that I think is a huge gamble. And given the fact that there are a lot of young voters that are actually not very happy with what is happening in Telangana with reference to the corruption and the lack of vision, which we can speak in detail, the skewed development of Hyderabad and so on. I think it's a huge gamble. Also, there are only 6 women that have got seats. So let's see how it pans out. And also, one of the things he mentioned was the friendship with AIMIM will continue. Which perhaps it's understandable given that he's contesting from Kamareddy, which is like more than 35% Muslims. So it makes sense. So let's see how this pans out. But I think it's a huge gamble that he has taken against the resurgent BJP.
Right. Shyam Prasad Meka, I want you to come in here, and the thing is that a lot of people are saying that what was feared has come true. This list has the stamp of Kavita and KTR, although KTR apparently is travelling. He is not in the country, he is apparently gone with his son. So therefore, it says that it is completely the MLAs who are close to the family, the first family of Telangana, as it were. I mean, it is taking into account the loyalists, so therefore those who are loyal and those who have performed have been given a place, and those who have created any kind of a problem and there has been dissent, they have been asked to sit down. So this is actually also, their experts are saying, so that he does not face a Maharashtra like situation. The drama that we saw unfold a couple of months ago, he is making it very sure that he is in complete control. Shyam Prasad Meka, your opening comments on this, please. Shyam, I think we've lost contact to Shyam Prasad. There he is. Hi Shyam, can you hear me? Again?
Yeah, see,
yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Yes, Sudha, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go on.
Yeah. See, it's a good thing that it's a good thing they announced the list very early. It's a good thing. The messaging that is happening is, he's saying, see, I'm confident. Look at my ticket distribution. Most of my MLAs are repeating. We are very confident. That's the message KCR perhaps is trying to send out. Because he was banking on the narrative that a lot of people might be thinking KCR is too strong. He's actually coming back. So he want to keep that narrative intact and want to show confidence so that people might not think of even considering the other alternatives. That message he is trying to send by coming out early with the full list, almost full list, and most of the MLAs repeating. But where he is belaying it is, he is again belaying the doubts he has by actually contesting in 2 seats. Our friend Mr. Shekhar was telling maybe he is trying to keep it easy for Kavita. So if he easy for Kavita,
I think
he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So the question is in his.
I need to.
Yeah, in his heart of.
Yeah.
In his heart of hearts, he knows he has a tough battle on hand, and he's trying to show to people that he's very confident. He's going to win.
All
the
right.
election.
I mean, which he should.
That's the message.
You know, why not? I mean, he is sitting chief minister, and he has a perfect right to do that. Shyam, I think there is some problem with your audio. Lakshmi, can we fix that, please? Yeah, thanks. I'm going to Sai Shekhar. Sai Shekhar, you know, Gosha Mahal. Again, I'm asking you this because you are pretty much an insider. You have seen, you know, how things have unfolded in Telangana. Gosha Mahal, there are rumors that, you know, perhaps KCR will approach Raja Singh. You know, now it's a very controversial thing. We all know what Raja Singh stands for. We have done numerous stories. He's a motor mouth. I'm going to say it openly. He's very disparaging towards women, towards communities. How much do you think is the truth? I mean, if he's considering Raja Singh, then obviously it's a desperate measure. Would you accept it?
I don't think he's considering Raja Singh. It's a figment of fertile imagination, and he has openly announced that, you know, we are friendly with MIM and we are continuing our friendship. We will continue to be together, and in Lok Sabha also we'll win 17 seats, including MIM. That's what he has announced. So with MIM around, definitely Raja Singh can't be onboarded, and I am not sure. I haven't heard that Raja Singh would be approached by the BRS to, you know, contest on its behalf. It won't work like that. I don't think it's possible, and I don't think it's correct also.
So, what is the mystery then about Gosha Mahal? I mean, considering it's kept in abeyance as of now.
Maybe they are finding some candidate, there may be some contest within the candidates, and then it's not, Gosha Mahal hasn't been their seat anyway.
Yeah, right. Also, let me just come to you about him keeping the seat warm. Now, you say even Amit Shah has said, but you know, let's not get into whataboutery, because I don't expect that from you at all. But the thing is, isn't it a fact also that Kavita has been facing some heat? You know, there has been this, you know, the alleged involvement in the excise scam, as it were, the South group, etc., which has been spoken about many times over. So, I am asking you that, you know, well, what are dynasties? I mean, after all, you go anywhere, there are dynasties. Akhilesh Yadav, you look around, Stalin, I mean, come on. So, I am not really, I mean, Andhra Pradesh, I am not really judging, but then don't you think that somewhere KCR, by fighting from two, because I would not expect him to fight from two constituencies, if he was so confident. You know, I would not. Gajwel, he will ace it. There is no doubt about it. I am saying it today, sticking my neck out. He will ace it. But the problem is, when you say I am fighting from two, you know, it just seems that somewhere the man is nervous.
Not exactly, Sudha. You know, a person of KCR's stature, if he is seeking an election from two constituencies, one of them is surely to reinforce his, you know, leadership in one particular constituency which he is already representing, and the other one, you know, he creates his presence would create a kind of positive vibe for the BRS, and precisely for that reason he would be seeking another seat. Actually, if you don't know, I don't know whether you are aware, first time in 1983, N.T. Ramarao contested from 3 assembly constituencies before the Election Commission Representation of People Act was amended to limit the number of contesting constituencies to just 2. N.T. Ramarao contested from 3, and he won all 3 from all the 3 regions of Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Telangana and Andhra.
Shyam Prasad Meka is nodding his head away. I want to know why. Go on. Sai, please finish what you were saying. Sorry.
And he also contested in 2 constituencies subsequently. And it's not as if, you know, they are diffident and or anything like that. They want to reinforce their party's strength in different places. And it sends across a message that KCR has never contested in the single constituency except for the first time in Gajwel and the second time in Gajwel. That's all. He has always changed his constituencies, and he proved to be pan-Telangana leader. But no other chief minister can do that. Like, you know, Chandrababu Naidu always contested from Kuppam. He never moved from Kuppam to any other constituency. So is Rajasekhar Reddy. So
Right.
but KCR is not like that. He's different.
Right. You know, let me go to Bhanuchandar. Bhanuchandar, every leader who has been left out has the same thing to say. I was part of the Telangana agitation. I am one of the senior most leaders. Why have you left me out? That seems to be, you know, during the first election, that was the thing which made KCR who he is today. I don't think he can go with the same thing right now. I want to ask you something. There seems to be, you know, we all know the social media was full of it. There was nervousness amongst people, amongst MLAs, whether I'll be selected, left out. They kept going to, you know, the leaders' home, standing in front. We have enough sources in Hyderabad to tell us this. I want you to please, you know, there is one thing which stands out for me is that 39 out of these 115 are Reddys. How do you look at it? I mean, do you think that's a smart move or that is an unsmart move? Because caste equations also change over the years. Don't you agree? Bhanuchandar.
Absolutely, Sudha. Like, it has given an opening for BJP to do some social engineering because like the Velama and the Reddy communities are dominant in politically dominant in Telangana, but if you add the numbers, they are less than say 7-8%. There is an opportunity for a political party to unite the OBCs, which has always been a dream for many political parties. If they manage to do it, they're around 50% of the population. So even if not 50%, if there is some sort of a social engineering that could be done, then it can reap political dividends. And I also feel that, like, since this being a two-time incumbent is actually facing the elections, and also the party being strong, it could also be that there can be 119 local elections. Like, there can be constituency to constituency battles, which I think is what BJP is hoping for. And given that, like, even today, this morning, the BJP state president Kishan Reddy was already starting to lob the allegations against BRS, saying that they are 30% government, and he went on to say how, like, for every construction permit and every housing scheme to even avail the benefits, that they have to grease the palms. So I think, and also, like, there's this new campaign on achievements of Modi government and how BRS has actually kept Telangana's development lopsided and focused more on Hyderabad and leaving the rest of Telangana on doles. In fact, like, recently KCR made an announcement on Dalits, saying that, like, how he will provide like 3 acres of land and he's going to build a statue of Ambedkar in Hyderabad and so on. For which the BJP countered, saying that in 2018, 50,000 crores.
But Bhanuchandar, I think, I'm sorry, but I think the fight is going to be between the Congress and the BRS. BJP is not in the reckoning. I don't think so. Well, I know it's premature. You can jump at me when we will discuss the elections. We all going to sit, all three of you will be with me. You can say, ha, you said this. But today I don't see the BJP in the reckoning at all. I'm sorry. They can go to town talking about this and the other. They are themselves struggling. Their house is not in order. We have seen what happened with Bandi Sanjay, with Kishan. They are all struggling to see where to put all the possible, like chess, pretty much like chess, to see that they arrange, they work on permutation combination. So I don't think that it really works as of now. But you made a good point about, like you said, 39 out of 115, ladies and gentlemen, are Reddys, and that is what Bhanuchandar was talking about. Shyam Prasad, now it is when are you releasing your list? Because the Congress was saying, let BRS first release the list and then we will release the list as well. So are you all geared up, the Congress party, to release their list now, considering that you have seen what the BRS list looks like?
Yeah, see, irrespective of BRS list, Congress party is going about the exercise in its own fashion and will come out with the list pretty soon. Having said that, see, one thing, I don't know how much you were able to hear me last time owing to the audio problem. But what we need to understand is, he's trying to send a message, KCR is trying to send a message that, see, I am confident, I am coming back. That's what the narrative he wants to put in the minds of the people by announcing the list early and by having most of his MLAs repeated. right? But at the same time, he's contesting from two places. Basically, he's trying to galvanize other areas by his presence. That actually brings out the fact that in his heart of hearts, he is worried. He sees there is danger to his power.
Yeah, but
that's the problem.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and that's a good sign to be nervous rather than to be overconfident. And I think that's a good sign. I mean, we all know that, you know. But the point is that it is also a fact that he's facing anti-incumbency. But then if you look at it, the recent surveys, some of them have showed that the vote share that he got around, I think 47%, if I'm not wrong, you know, it has come down. But then the Congress is way below that. So I'm asking you, what is your strategy going to be so far as the list is concerned? What are you going to look at? Are you going to look at, you know, ball to ball, as if this candidate against this candidate of BRS, or are you going to look at other factors as well? Because in Karnataka, you've had a fabulous victory. So I'm asking you.
Yeah, definitely we will look at the BRS candidate because it was announced earlier. But that's not the only factor, right? We have other factors. We'll look at who has better chances and who can carry our message, who can carry the narrative of the Congress party into the people, who is already working on the issues of the people. So we have a lot of things to consider. We need to consider social justice also, and we will pick our candidates based on that. Of course, who we are pitting our candidate against is also a factor. But since most of these are sitting MLAs of BRS, actually that makes our job easier because a lot of these MLAs and the TRS government is facing anti-incumbency on the ground.
Yeah. So, Sai Shekhar, I'm coming to you. I was speaking about the survey where the vote share has fallen for BRS. You know, it is around, they say from 47.4%, it has come to around 40%, which is a major drop if you look at the overall universe. We cannot just look at percentage in isolation. A significant drop of 7% votes. The Congress apparently has today, I mean, if we go to like 27.6%, and BJP is right there, you know, at the third spot with around 14% vote share. Sai Shekhar, apparently the one major thing, despite, please let's understand, this is a welfare Raja. Every day you open the newspaper, he has announced something. Raitu Bandhu, Raitu Bima, those are our old story. Shadi Mubarak, you know, all that is old story. Every day you say waiving farmers' loan, giving them free power, everything. The thing is that all the boxes are ticked, but there is one box which doesn't seem to be ticked, and that is the family thing. There is constant reference to Kavita, constant reference to not so much KTR, but Kavita, and constant reference to Harish Rao. They say, therefore, this list also, if you look at it, Sai Shekhar, it is almost as if he is only giving tickets to this where there is a sure shot winnability. He is very bothered about winning, and there is nothing wrong with it. We are here to win elections as politicians.
So out of 119 assembly seats, he has announced almost 115, out of which about 10 to 12 were changed. And rest are all the same candidates have been repeated, which means he is confident that his existing team can triumph again. This is one. And number two, KCR, I think he's very confident of his victory in the upcoming elections, and thereby he would once and for all silence this family bogey which is being raised against him by the Prime Minister also, no less a person than the Prime Minister. So, but this Parvarwadi thing and all, and Congress cannot talk about Parvarwadi family politics because that is an inherent problem they are facing. For KCR, so far it has worked to his advantage. For Congress, it has worked to its disadvantage. We have seen 2014 and 2019 two elections. So this is one factor, and he has nominated a large number of, at least 90% of them have been re-nominated, and which means he is very confident that he doesn't even face anti-incumbency, or at least wherever there is an anti-incumbency, he wants to do some social engineering and make it big. And make no mistakes, you are talking about welfare Raja. He's also created Kaleshwaram, which is a development project. He's also created Hyderabad. There's a lot of development, immense development in terms of flyovers, underpasses, huge roads, a lot of industry being ushered in. And across Telangana also, there are several other projects that have been implemented. And electricity, numerous power projects have been commissioned during the last 9 years. So he has balanced the welfare and also development.
Yeah. What about those who joined BRS from other parties? I mean, has he rewarded them 2018 to now? Because he had promised at that time. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about then.
Doesn't look like.
Is that right? He hasn't really accommodated, because the promise was not only this time, he said next time also I will give you tickets. So he's not done that. He's gone back on his word, is it?
Yeah, he has not given any promise in that sense that he would nominate somebody who has crossed the floor, and I don't see in the list anybody who has been rewarded like that.
Right. So I want to ask you and play the devil's advocate for one bit, Sai Shekhar, of this
Please
list.
do.
What is the weakest link according to you? Where you said no, this shouldn't have happened? Hanumantrao, was it? Who was it? Was it Subhash Reddy? I mean, where do you think that he could have done better?
In his wisdom, he has done the best, and he is the one who launched an agitation, spearheaded it, won the state, he had a state carved out, and won the state twice, and raring to go for a third time. We are only watching the whole show from a ringside. We only have a ringside view.
True.
We are not actually in the fray. So I think he has done the best within his given limitations.
Right. Bhanuchandar, I want to come to you now, and I want you to tell me that, the thing is that it's all very well to have a robust list. By whatever you make, even Shamin, let me give it to Shyam Prasad Meka. He said, good for him. He came, it's a first movers. He's been very polite, and rather he's put on his political analyst hat here. He said first movers advantage is a very, very good thing. We were waiting. We will also give out the list. Having a robust list is fine. We can all sit here and talk about anti-incumbency and everything that, that is required. But don't you think somewhere perception also becomes reality? Much like the neighboring Karnataka, where everyone thought that the BJP is running with it. I also thought initially. I thought, what is this? But then Bajrang Bali happened, so many things happened, 40% Sarkara happened. Do you think that this Parivarvad is one thing which is not going to go away easily so far as Chandrasekhar Rao is concerned?
See, first of all,
Shyam, I'll come to you, Shyam. I asked Bhanuchandar.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So absolutely, Sudha, family, Parivarvad and corruption, especially, will be very hard for BRS to shake off. One quick thing about the Congress party is that, recently there has been a CWC expansion, right? The Congress Working Committee. There are no members from Telangana, which is quite surprising given that the elections are on the anvil. And even if you look at the major political events, you actually gave the numbers from a survey. If you look at, say, 2018, the BJP's vote share was 7%, and 2019 it became 20%. And later, after that, in 2020, there was a very good performance in the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation election, in which the Congress did not do very well. So I think, given that the BRS has released its list, it probably gives a better perspective for BJP and even the Congress to actually etch a strategy that could actually counter it. So I think it's a double-edged sword. Perhaps BRS is confident that it can win, but given that two-time anti-incumbency and given the fact that Amit Shah and Modi have done the social engineering in a few other states, it is a gamble, I would say.
Right. Shyam Prasad, I want to ask you that one good thing about it is, the series of sexual harassment allegations by Sarpanch Navya, that case, and therefore the sitting MLA of Station Ganpur, Dr. Rajaya, has lost out. Don't you think that is a good move, that is also creating perception that he will not tolerate such transgressions, as it were? KCR.
Come on, Sudha. See, if there are sexual allegations, you are going to, sexual harassment allegations, you are going to drop the candidate from the list.
Yeah.
Is that the punishment? Is that what KCR want to try it out?
Shyam Prasad Meka, look at
Come
the list
on.
of Uttar Pradesh. You will be shocked.
Come on.
Almost.
No. See, listen. Yeah, we will talk about each case
Yeah.
separately.
Okay.
But we are not going to compare these gruesome incidents and escape. Or we are not going to compare.
Sure,
and,
I agree.
Normalize.
We are the
it.
South Indians.
Okay,
Yes, we won't.
Okay, let's keep that out. Let's
Yeah.
keep that out. Let's keep it to politics. The criminal angle and the woman issue is a separate issue. Then we need to tackle that. Be it in power or out of power, whoever
Sure.
it is.
Okay.
That's a separate issue. Let's keep that out. Now, what Mr. KCR is trying to do is, while he is not confident, he is trying to be seen as confident. That's the exercise that he is trying to do, and which is obviously his prerogative. Is bound to take some narrative forward. That's what he is doing. But on the ground, there is a lot of huge tenure of anti-incumbency, and there is this parivarwad is not an issue, right? Let me tell you, this is a made-up issue. People are worried about the family-run corruption. If there are a couple of people from your own family, if they are talented on their own, if they come up, people doesn't mind. If the family together runs the show of corruption, then people will take it. Okay, that's what is happening in the state of Telangana.
All right.
Hence, that is the issue.
Right. So, talking about which, Sai Shekhar, what about Prabhakar Reddy in Dubak? Very close to Harish. You know, so there, Parivarvad. I'm only trying to connect the dots, as it were.
This Parivarwad thing doesn't make sense, as Shyam Prasad was very emphatically stating. This is a narrative the BJP has tried to create to curry favor, but you know, since BJP is, as you rightly pointed out some time ago, is no longer in the reckoning and is not the challenger to the BRS, this Parivarwad thing doesn't stand any, any scrutiny, Sudha.
But what about Prabhakar Reddy, Sai?
That's Prabhakar Reddy is not Parivar. Prabhakar Reddy has been brought in.
Friends and
he's
family.
Only one MP who's been brought into the assembly fray, and that's one change they have effected. That's all.
But the change is for family also, no? The change
what
is also,
family?
I mean, friends. I mean, Harish Rao. I mean, it is very close.
Everyone is a friend now. See, 100 out of 115 candidates, or 100 were repeated. Which means everyone is a friend and a loyalist.
My God, that is not very good. But then KCR must know what he is doing. Let me thank all of you for joining me on this broadcast. I wanted to have a very clean discussion about the first list, and I guess we succeeded in doing that. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Thank you indeed.
Thank you.
It's time for a short break, but don't go away. I'm coming back with news from Tamil Nadu, so stay with me.
ChatGPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with